Brown, who is a private investigator and paralegal. And of course, Mr. Brown was talking to us about some of the issues that are involved in being a private investigator. And of course, let's look at some of the cases dealing with this anatomy of an injustice, some of the cases that might fit into the kind of thing that you do, Mr. Brown.
Okay. First, let me say that we're licensed by the state of Tennessee. That's the only way you can be a private investigator. In doing this, we've been in business, as I stated earlier, 20 years. And every now and then there's a case that we will go back that we will want to look at because there's just some things just ain't right. It just don't feel right. And we come up with this idea because I guess we look at cold case stories that's on TV. And we have one in mind that fits right along that. And the topic that we like to say is there a time limit on an injustice? I'm not trying to we're not trying to point a fault finger at anybody. But this case is of such a magnitude that it has to be revisited, and the whole thing of it needs to be set out because I believe not everybody knows about this case. And the case that I'm talking about was an injustice that happened January the 16th, 1968, here in Davidson County, Nashville, Tennessee, up on 4th and Hyman, 14th and Hyman. Unfortunately, 2 Metro police officers was killed there. Now, everybody's aware of 2 police officers being killed that day, but nobody knows what really actually happened because of presentations in court. There are certain things that the court will allow, certain things the court will not allow. And at that time period, it was a very thing that they did. The courts stripped the defense in being able to turn around and put on a case that would have been productive. What I mean by that? Well, let's go back and re-examine 1968 January. Basically, it starts at the end of 1967 and goes into 1968. That's when people of color started to exercise their rights. I think some people want to say civil rights activists, and they want to say race rights. I don't see it that way. I see where people were trying to get their rights. And there was mass movements in the city of Nashville. Matter of fact, there were some people that came from outside of the state. They came down, they talked to students at Tennessee State University, at Fisk University, and I think they tried to get at Meharry, but those people there were far beyond because they had careers and all everything they had. Well, at that time period, there was a situation where it was necessary for the National Guard to be called out, and that started this. That put this thing in. This starts this case. So now, when I say it starts the case, we got racial problems, and we got a whole lot of things going on within the city, and people within the know that's trying to curtail some things. Now, during that time period, I was in Vietnam fighting to make sure that people here could do anything that they wanted to do.
To enjoy the freedom.
Could enjoy the freedom. I didn't mind getting shot 7 times, because I know people here was going to enjoy the freedom. Now, I'm very disappointed in